Now, you may not like it, but this is what peak best girl energy looks like. Can you really call yourself a best girl if you haven't completely disrupted the cast's entire dynamic? But what makes it even better is the fact that it's not just that everyone hated her, the fact that Charlotte adored her. I'm just getting the impression that Charlotte, if she was in like a modern school setting, she's the type of person who would hang around the wrong crowd and get manipulated into breaking laws and rules, and she would just look at you straight in the face innocently saying, well, Big Sis wanted to do it, so I did it. The fact that collectively the entire cast, guards, name servants, everyone's like, fire her ass, and ours is desperately scrambling to figure out a way to keep her there. We broke Reach to the point that the man who, if you try to scam him in paying 1 coin more than something's worth, would try to slit your throat, is currently trying to bash the head in of ours, because if he succeeds in getting rid of the commander, then therefore that bitch is gone. She disrupted the cast's entire flow to the point that the only people who tolerate her are seemingly the women. Charlotte loves her, and with them alone together turns her into Megami. The fiancé is a bit of a coin toss because it actually was fine up until she grabbed ours and hugged him. That's when the yandere look came out. But in general, if those three stick together, the guys have no chance in hell of having any power. But this is what best girl energy looks like and how it can completely disrupt the flow of the Nisekai. Full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my full and thought to any of these episodes, it's over there exclusively. What a brilliant freaking episode. Like, legitimately, I am going to be sad next week when it's all said and done. It needs a season 2 confirmation because, one, I didn't expect another character to get introduced. I thought after the father's funeral, we had all the characters we were really going to focus on. And honestly, just, it doesn't feel like they're wasting time or they're like, okay, we need to just constantly throw new characters, otherwise it gets boring. At the end of the day, it's like a Civ game. We're like building up connections and these people to build the biggest and greatest nations we can with powerful armies that can build a future that Lord Raven can look down at and be proud of his son for doing. And the idea of having a character who at face value, you can't blame a single person for wanting her gone. She doesn't train, she drinks, she breaks rules, she's messy, she's loud, and she feels like, really take a step back. Even if someone knows Ars can see potential in people, most people are going to look at Ars and say he's keeping her around because she's hot. 100%, like, she is literally at face value the most useless character. And the fact that despite all the hostility, and this is what I love about the characterization and writing in the show, despite all that hostility, she's actually still like, no, why would I want to leave here? I'm actually quite happy here. Like, this is, I mean, since the last place that was really nice to me, that being the governor or whoever she was with before he died, like, this is still a great situation for her and she's couldn't be happier. And that is insane to me because when you look at it, right, you would totally believe that this is hell for her. And it's not just the bubbly, it's not just the beer that she's chugging that's making her say that, like she legitimately is happy to be here. And when it came to the mock battle, it was interesting, right? Because at first you're like, is this guy actually really trying to screw us? You know, I'm kind of willing to believe it, but I'm still skeptical because like everyone but like 2 characters, maybe 3 if you include the fiance, though she's still a little bit of a coin toss, want her ass gone. The idea of like, here's this plan, you really think I'm stupid enough to think that? Like, clearly that's not Ars's plan, like Ars wouldn't do that. Okay, here's the real plan, makes more sense, but still, you're an idiot. Gets jumped in the field and we're basically like, haha, got you. Reitz is so far gone that he's like, I don't care. Whatever your plan is, I don't care. I just have to bash the commander and we win. And poor little Ars is like, what the hell? Can people just be friends for the love of God? And he's just a cinnamon roll in this situation, but what a fun way to gain the trust, because the thing is I totally expect she wins. I think whatever she's doing is gonna win. And I think I don't think her character will change much in the short term where she's like gonna stop drinking so much or maybe being so outlandish. Like, she lacks political manners, but clearly is like the most, as far as we can tell, is the most talented member that has been recruited thus far. Even more so than Reitz or Charlotte or any of them. It does feel like she has the potential. Does she have the potential to screw us? 100%. But we can't be too picky when you have that. Like, it's better to give her an honest shot at being an ally than turning her away and turning her into a guaranteed enemy. And that's what I kind of like about Ars's skill, is that, yes, at face value, everyone is saying she's not it. Like, she can be as talented as you think, but when you see the stats, it's one thing. But now being able to actually see those stats in execution, hopefully it will bring enough people together to be like, okay, even if we hate her guts, even if we think she's obnoxious or useless, hopefully it will be enough to say, actually, we want her in the battlefield. Because you can hate the strategist all you want, but as long as the strategist gets the W, that's what matters. And that's basically what she says, and I can respect that hustle. And I think the big thing about this show that has been so charming is that from the very beginning, what made this isekai special was that the way they portray the characters don't come across as cliches and tropes. When you meet Ritz, this homeless guy in the alley who, you know, doesn't really know kindness. When you meet this girl who's a bit spicy and cares about orphans, or you meet, you know, this troubled son who looks like he's useless to his father but secretly really cares. And all these characters, they have their quirk about their backstory and their introduction, but they quickly became people. And as fun and wild as some of these personalities are, at no point does this show feel cliche or typical. The idea of the way they use the main gimmick for ours, which is the appraisal, and the way that, while ours is the crutch and the core thing that brings this whole group and situation together, at the end of the day, it is a team effort, and the fact that it's all about building a civilization, the strongest group of people we can, really makes this something that deserves multiple seasons. Like, this is the type of show that if I would have discovered it, like back when I was first binging all the great anime that were recommended, if I saw 100 episodes of this, I would have had that done in a couple of weeks, 100%. That's what I did with shows like Hunter x Hunter, man. Like, it didn't take me long to binge through that. And I really feel like a show like this has a similar appeal for me, because it's character driven. And it really, like, I love the look of it, I love the personalities, the VAs are wonderful. It's just such an effective isekai, it really, really is. At the end of the day, this is easily one of the biggest shockers for me, because it honestly didn't look like anything too crazy. Because there's a lot of like isekai reincarnation fantasy shows where like the MC gets reborn in like a 8 to like 12-year-old body, and like half the time they're pretty harmless, they're just like chilling in another world, they're pretty simple. But they're usually, I don't know, I just find like they're more in the generic territory than the ones where characters are at least teenagers when they get reincarnated. But this one really, really impressed me, and I'm going to be sad to see it go next week, but I'm so glad that I got to experience at least this, and hopefully a season 2, not too far off in the future. Let me know what you thought down below, and what do you think of new Best Girl, because unfortunately, even if you disagree she's Best Girl, it doesn't matter. She is confirmed Best Girl at this point, and I think even Charlotte would agree. Let me know your feelings down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout-out. So today we got Burn, Isaiah Cicero, Michael Meadows, Watson, Bryant, Sleep Fishy, Gabrielle Ray, and Wayne Delquist. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and you all have a good one.